Tom Aspinall says that he does not care about the Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic situation, yet he continues to talk about it on every single show that he goes at and on every single turn. And for me personally, as a fan of the sport, I've already grown so tired of this situation. It's tiring every single time I open my YouTube, every single time. I mean, sometimes it even pops up like you don't even have to open the app. Tom Aspinall says this about the Jon Jones versus Stipe fight, says the other thing. He made a 10-minute plus video complaining about the situation. On every single interview, it's the same thing. He went on a podcast with Anthony Smith and Michael Bisping talking about the same situation. And I, for one, am already tired and sick of this to the gills. Are we going to have to continue listening to this situation until the fight in November, or possibly even up to 6 months later until he finally fights either Jon Jones or Stipe, or even indefinitely forever if he never gets to fight them? It's like, enough, man. I understand that you want to get this opportunity, and you will get it if you get it, and if you don't, you don't. But you don't have to subject the entire UFC and MMA fan base to this crying and whining. And on the same 10-minute video that he posted himself, the guy that's with him asked him, or actually he himself said, am I going to continue crying and whining about this? And he continues to do it. He continues to do it. Listen, Tom, you got this opportunity because Jon Jones got injured, bro. That's the only reason you got this opportunity. And you do not have any confirmation at all that Stipe was even offered to fight Sergey Pavlovich. You've gone out there and insulted my man Stipe, saying that he's 42 years old, hasn't fought in 4 years. It wasn't his fault. He was knocked out. If you get knocked out, let's see when you fight again. Then his father died. Then the UFC went with Cyril Gane instead of him. Then, when he was supposed to take the winner on July, Jon Jones postpones it to November, and then Jon Jones gets injured. It hasn't been his fault. It hasn't been his fault, and the Stipe does not have the fault that the UFC did not strip Jon Jones. Now, Dana White said it best. You are not owed anything in this sport or in life. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. You do not have to be on the sidelines. You can fight as many times as you want. And if you fight as many times as you can and want, you will continue to make millions and millions of dollars, which the sport has already given you. Because when you defended the interim belt, I'm pretty sure he got pay-per-view points. It's like, you can't continue fighting, bro. You don't have to sit on the sidelines. If you are so confident about your abilities, why was it that the first thing that you said after you beat Curtis Blades was essentially that you're not going to fight again until you fight for the undisputed belt? It's like, if you're so sure that you're the number one heavyweight in the world, that nobody can beat you, etc., 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 then fight the entire division, bro. You'll get the undisputed title shot when you get it, if you get it, and if not, you'll get elevated. But to torture the entire MMA community like this for literally like a year, like his fight in Madison Square Garden was in last November, and if he fights for the undisputed on 2025, he's going to continue making each and every one of our lives miserable. And the UK fans are just terrible. Hating and hating and hating and sucking up to Tom. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, guys. Leon Edwards lost. I get it that Tom Aspinall is your only champion right now. And he already has a couple of losses. And you want him to be the best and this and that. Jon Jones fought with an open fractured toe like a badass without even complaining. Whereas Tom Aspinall got on to the floor, holding his knee like a baby, essentially crying and begging Curtis Blades not to ground and pound the shit out of him. Okay? And then in the regional scene, he tapped out. Jon Jones would have preferred Vitor Belfort break his freaking arm rather than tap out. There are different levels of toughness. Yes, this guy hits incredibly hard. He's good at wrestling. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He's good everywhere. And he's put out a bunch of guys out very quickly. That's true. That's 100% true. But guess what? Isn't that everybody? Isn't that everybody? Francis Ngannou was on a 10-fight win streak when he fought Stipe Miocic the first time. 10-fight win streak, 6 of them in the UFC. His title contention fight, which was against Alistair Overeem, he knocked out Alistair Overeem into the moon, per Joe Rogan. He almost killed the guy. Snapped his head so freaking back that he almost touched his back with his nose. This is not the first time that we have a prospect that's surging. And what happened in that fight? Stipe Miocic set the guy back for 25 minutes, a masterclass. Then it's happened on every single turn. Sergey Pavlovich, he was on a 5-fight knockout streak himself. It could have been 6, where he knocked out Derek Lewis, knocked out everyone else, and then Tom went out and knocked him out. And Volkov just went out there and beat him by decision, 30-27, all single rounds. It's like, just because somebody is on a hot streak does not mean they're invincible, guys. Paulo Costa, he was undefeated, like 13-0 until he fought Izzy. Izzy went out there, TKO'd him, and then went ahead and did what he did in the octagon afterwards. And that was it. Paulo Costa was never the same. He lost his next fight to Marvin Vettori in a catchweight. Now he's lost to Strickland, and he's lost to Whitaker, etc., etc., etc. Like, hype trains get derailed almost on a daily basis on the MMA world. The 6'7" guy, Cuban guy that was knocking everyone out, and he just got derailed. Once you take him down, he gets derailed. This happens all the time. How many times has Jon Jones fought undefeated prospects or the next big thing that's going to beat him? Daniel Cormier was undefeated, etc., etc. It's happened a bunch of times. It's like, this guy will not stop whining and crying, and I'm frankly tired of it. And I can't wait for November to get here, for this fight to be done with, and for this guy to stop yapping. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's going to continue yapping until his fight actually does happen, which it could be 6 months down the line after that. We're talking about April, May 2025, maybe March. And he's going to continue talking about it. And whether he wins or loses, he's going to continue talking about this for years. It's like, enough, man. Seriously. And for everyone out there saying that, Tom Aspinall is just going to run through Stipe or Jon Jones, well, good for him if he does. Good for him. But at this point, I hope Stipe knocks the hell out of him. Or Jon Jones goes out there, takes him down, and submits him like the guy that submitted him at the regional scene. Like and subscribe.